Hi everyone, welcome to my review of AGM Pad P2 Active, rugged Android tablet with removable protective case. So without further ado, let's start with unboxing. AGM Pad P2 Active comes in rather large orange paper box, which is very easy to recycle. There is some information about the device printed on the back and on the sides. Let's open it up. Inside we've got the tablet itself with protective case on and some accessories. As you can see, we've got here paper printed manual, warranty and a sticker. Besides that, 20-watt wall charger and USB-C to USB-C charging cable. Also, user-replaceable rubber covers for micro SD card and SIM card slots. Strap with AGM logo, which can be used to carry the tablet around on one shoulder. And last but obviously not least, a SIM tool. All accessories are of good quality. Now let's take a closer look at the tablet. It comes in serious rugged case, which is also quite heavy. The rugged case also has very handy rotatable kickstand, which is very useful for many situations. All construction seems to be very well made. As you can see, 3.5mm output and SD card slot covered up quite nicely. Now I would like to take the cover off and take a look at the tablet. The procedure is not as difficult as it might seem. One just needs to pull up clips on all sides and take off the front frame. Then loosen up the rubber part and take the tablet out of the hard plastic orange bed. As you can see right here, frame made of sturdy plastic and covered with thick rubber/silicone cover, which definitely would serve a good protection. AGM Pad P2 has quite sturdy construction itself, fully metal build. Here you can see 3.5mm output and micro SD card slot covered with rubber cover. Also here we've got speaker grill and SIM card slot, which is also covered with rubber cap. On the other side we've got on-off button and the other speaker grill. On top we've got volume rocker and microphone opening, and on the back we've got 50-megapixel camera and a flashlight. Pad P2 display has good viewing angles. It can go as far as 480 nits in brightness, which is just good enough for outdoor use. It also has quite good color reproduction. Colors looking natural without any distortion. As you can see right here, AGM Pad P2 has clean Android OS interface without bloatware. All usual, so to say, Google-made apps are present. Google Play Store is also pre-installed and fully functional, so there is no problems with software besides slightly older Android OS version, of course. Interface is very familiar to any Android user. Here in the settings section, one can adjust 4G connection, battery, sound, Wi-Fi, etc. This tablet has landscape stereo speakers set up, which sound quite good. Besides that, it also has very nice wireless audio capabilities, including very clean output with high-res LDAC codec. Pad P2 has 8GB of dedicated RAM and 8GB of reserved RAM. Together it works as 16GB fused RAM setup. I was trying out both 8GB and 16GB mode. Have to say that in 16GB mode it runs smoother and a bit faster, so it is not a gimmick. Fused RAM really works, at least in this case. As I already have mentioned, this tablet runs on Android 14. Have to say that I did not experience any problems with OS. All apps were running quite well. As you can see here, this tablet has Air OS 1.0 skin on top of Android 14. AGM Pad P2 Active sports MediaTek Helio G99 chipset, which is quite capable and low on power consumption. It is also quite common option for mobile devices in mid-price range category. I would not bother to run synthetic benchmarks on this tablet. This chipset is very well known, and if you're interested, you can look it up. I would rather talk about performance in day-to-day use. As you can see here, in casual games performance is very good. There is no any visual problems with frame rates or overheating issues, everything is just good. The battery life is as usual dependable on the type of use. But I have to say that I was watching long-term HD videos on YouTube over 4G connection, used navigation, played some casual games and read some news on internet time by time. At the end of the day, the tablet had enough power left to go through the night and have battery almost empty only by the next morning. 8000 mAh battery is very reasonable choice for this kind of devices. It also was very slow with discharging when idle, which I personally appreciate a lot. Android 14 is slightly outdated by modern day standards. It would be very nice if AGM could extend software support and at least bring it up to Android 15. Android OS is not really a pro-user friendly, which is very unfortunate. I personally do not like how audio is managed by the Android OS in general. There is plenty of unnecessary limitations, which spoils all experience dramatically. Nevertheless, I was also trying out this tablet with some serious apps like Cubasis, for example. Have to say that it works well. With this chipset, it is still possible to run more or less serious projects in Cubase without much of a hassle. The other field of use would be remote control operations over Bluetooth connection. AGM Pad P2 Active did very well in this regard as well. The connection is staying strong, there is no false out or anything else of that sort. The only thing is some of the applications running in portrait mode only, which is odd, or rather funny. This tablet has built-in FM tuner, which would work if one has inserted 3.5mm jack in 3.5mm out connector. It works with headphones as well as with built-in speakers. One of the best features of AGM Pad P2 Active, in my opinion, would be the possibility to use navigation apps when outdoors. I was testing it at different locations, in the city center as well as closer to the seashore, and it was always working very well. After all, this tablet was meant to be used as an outdoor device, and in my opinion it does it well. This tablet also has an IP68 rating, IP69K rating and MIL-STD 810H rating, which is quite rare for this kind of devices. After several months of using this tablet, I have to say that Pad P2 Active is a very well-rounded device. It is reliable, stable, it has very good connectivity options, although it does not have 5G. It has very good battery life and quite capable 19Hz LCD display with good color reproduction. Not to mention good stereo speakers setup and very good and clean wireless audio. The camera on the back is okay for occasional use. In bright light situations, it is capable of making usable photos and videos, but in low light situations the results are not as good. I would recommend this tablet to those who want just a simple, not expensive device for outdoor use, which is not pretending to be the best at everything, but rather does everything what it's supposed to do just right. And that will be all for now. Thank you for watching, thumbs up if you liked it, please subscribe, and I see you all next time.